prioritize democracy.
Democracy for you and me.
Democracy must in your dollar free. Keep a connect a Gambian free.
Gambian, just you and me.
Sunny cat and well on you. Don't you are free. Sunny cat and well on you. Don't you are free. Sunny cat and well.
Our civic duties and responsibilities are there. You know, when we talk to people, mostly, especially youth, we claim for our rights that much. Oh, that's my right. That's my right. But when it comes to the responsibilities, it's hard to take those ones. The duties, those responsibilities, it's hard to take those ones. So civic responsibility or civic duties are the duties that a citizen owe. Section 220 of the Constitution of the Gambia stated some of these things. Among them is the love for the country, to respect the symbols of the country, to maintain the good reputation of the country, to abide by the laws of the country, to respect the rights and the freedoms of other people. You have them, but others also have them. You need to respect that, to collaborate with the security forces in maintaining peace, to give as much as you can yourself to your job, whether this is a job with state institution or a private job, but do your best for the country. And then also to work for your community, for the advancement of your community. So, but we are in election. We must not lose track of that. So it's a civic duty to come out and cast a ballot and cast your vote. That way you're choosing, because it's the choice. You know, I'm got all of it in Koiwa, you know, Kubokasi get a Nanchi me, right? So if you're part of the show, you should really be part of the show. So that's it. Because you are part of the country and you own the country, because the sovereignty of the Gambia vests in the Gambian people. They own the state, right? So in the exercise of that, they should be able to choose. And I think this is what, unequivocally, this is what informed elections, so that the citizens, because they own the country, they choose who to be the leader. Presidential, parliamentary, the local government elections, and any other election that may be held under the Elections Act. So that's the way these things operate. We are choosing who to be our respective National Assembly members, and we should do this cautiously. We should be very careful. Part of our duty also is not only to go and vote, but to be careful of the caliber of persons that we are voting for. This is important. You know, we cannot be voting we shouldn't be voting on tribal lines. All of you, Sose, all that. It's not right. We need to look at the manifesto. We have to see the Gambia first. The civic duties and responsibilities are the duties we owe as citizens. We have the duty to maintain peace at all times, especially during election. We have a duty to come out and vote and choose. Like I was saying, you know, the country is the sovereignty, the powers of the country are vested in the people. We own those. We own the country, the people together as a collective. We own the country. So we choose who becomes the leader. That practice of choosing is a civic, you know, they say voting is a civic duty. So that's a civic duty. Maintaining peace is a civic duty. Whatever you do for the best interest of your community, yourself, and your country, not by the self, we should also be careful of what we define by the self. Sometimes people will be so self-centered, and even would do things that are against the interest of the majority, but because they individually they're having benefits, they want to do that. That's not civic. That's not quite a civic responsibility. It's not a civic duty. To have a civic duty, you need to think of the collective. You must not fall short of thinking and acting towards the interest of the majority, right? Of the community. So when you look at our Constitution, Section 220, I was saying this provision that is saying that the good reputation of the country, turbu bah bunyu hame, Gambia. Someone says smiling coast, huh? So that it's important to maintain that at all times. As a citizen, it's important to maintain that. And you need to respect our national symbols, the national flag, the seal of the country, and the coat of arms. Some of these national symbols should be respected. To maintain peace is one of them. To collaborate with the security in maintaining, of course, ensuring that there's orderliness and peace. And yourself, respecting other people's rights and duties. This is election period. I said we are in campaign, right? Campaign period. Electioneering is happening. So you should know that I have a right to vote for my choice. And in the same way, someone else has this right to vote for their choice. So it's not that if someone is not voting for your choice, Kokuku Bonla is not a good person. That's not it. You understand? So if you're going to give people the chance to exercise their rights, then you know, okay, you know what? This is where my right stops. There's someone else is there. Let them do as they wish, because that's what the law has given them. There's this power they have under Section 26 of the Constitution. They have the power to vote and to be voted for. So they're voting for their choice, or maybe their choices. And people should have that opportunity to do that freely. If you want to persuade anyone to join you, it should be in a peaceful way, in a very cordial way. And if they wish to, that's fine. If they don't, then you still need to convince them, or you leave them to be where they are to vote, because everyone has the right to vote for their choice. When they are eligible, they have the voter's card. They have the right to choose whosoever stands for the candidate. So they can vote for that person. Civic duty goes beyond this, goes to sacrificing for the country, sacrificing for the community, making sure that the best interests of the community, the society is served. That is one thing. That is really one thing, right? It must not always be about my right, I'm right, I have right to work here. But you're not even aware, or you fail to put your mind, to avoid your mind to the interests of other people. You're young Duffy, why maybe you're posing a threat in a particular way to a community. Maybe you are trespassing someone else's space. So in as much as you want to exercise your right, you need to observe. We need to observe our duties as well. And these are the civic duties. These are the civic duties. So the array of some of the civic duties is outlined in they are outlined in the Constitution in that section 220. But in other parts of the Constitution, and even in other laws, campaign ethics. If you look at this campaign ethics, coming down, like saying no to vote buying. So it's your duty to see what lawful means are you going to do to avoid vote buying happening, to make sure there is peace, to make sure that you avoid giving inflammatory language or insults, those kind of things during election, or misleading statements, hate speech. These are all things that can put the credibility of election into jeopardy. They say elections should be free, fair, and transparent. How can we have a free, fair, and transparent election when you have a system that is characterized by insults, by fights here and there, by violence? So it hampers, it affects the process. The process should be peaceful so that the different actors can come in and observe and monitor what is happening, so that we can say that this one is free, fair, and transparent, right? So that the IEAC staff can do their job, so that the electorates can come out and go on the queue and vote. After voting, back to your home. So you have a duty that after voting, you need to go home and not to form groups around that area, disturbing the peace. So people have those duties. It's also important to look at the elections ethics, the code of conduct, and also to look at some other duties stated in the Elections Act, as well as other relevant laws for the purpose of election.
Democracy.